Hello, Man in Gray here with another Man in Gray book review. Today's book is The Secret Lives of Color by Cassia St. Clair, published in 2017 by Penguin Books. It's 320 pages long. Cassia St. Clair is a London-based nonfiction writer, and she came to write this book kind of accidentally. She was researching fashion in the 1700s and became fascinated by reading old accounts of the various colors that we use to dye clothing. And she became interested in the background story of these various pigments. And that led her to write this book about the history of different pigments. The book opens with a series of short essays about how the eye processes color, the physics behind color, how artists mix colors together, and the psychological effects of color. But the heart of the book are 75 short essays about various pigments, how they were discovered, the chemicals involved, the advantages and disadvantages of these pigments. The pigments are all grouped according to type. So all the blue pigments are in one group, all the red, all the greens. And to help sort them out, if you can see this, the edges of the paper are also, the edges of the pages are also color-coded by color type. Let me just give you an example. I want to tell you a little bit about the color Prussian blue, which is this dark blue color right here. Prussian blue was discovered accidentally in 1706 by a German paint manufacturer. He was trying to make a red pigment called Red Lake, which was made by combining potash, which contains potassium, and iron sulfate. But he ran out of potash, and so he went and got some from a corrupt paint dealer who cut the potash with animal oil to make it go farther. And so when this German painter combined the potash, the contaminated potash, with the iron sulfate, instead of turning red, it turned a dark blue color. He had accidentally made potassium ferrocyanide. And it turns out that potassium ferrocyanide, or Prussian blue, was a cheap blue pigment. Now, up to this point, blue was one of the most expensive pigments to produce, but potash is pretty cheap. Animal oil is very cheap, and iron sulfate is also pretty cheap, and so this was an easy way to make a dark blue color without having to spend a lot of money to produce it. So this color became very popular. It turned out it's not very stable in sunlight, and so it tended to be used for indoor uses like paintings for artistic paintings, blueprint paper for architects, and wallpaper coloring. Pablo Picasso was very fond of Prussian blue, and he used that in his blue period paintings that he did in the early 20th century. Van Gogh also used Prussian blue in some of his paintings as well. And so you get little stories like that about these pigments, what they're used for, their advantages and disadvantages, and the chemicals behind them. And yes, there is one little essay about gray in here, but it's mostly about the brighter colors, reds, greens, and so forth. There is a whole section on different shades of white and other neutral colors as well. So if you're a painter, you're an artist, or you're just interested in color, or you like the history, like reading about history, this is a fun book. Each essay is only 2 or 3 pages long, and so you can read them in whatever order you want. The opening essays are very interesting if you're interested in the science of color as well. So it's a good book for anyone interested in color and art and color theory and so forth. The book is The Secret Lives of Color. The author is Cassia St. Clair. This has been another Man in Gray book review. Thanks for watching.